There's this saying, and I think it's and you can tell me right.
Yeah.
Cheating comes generationally. I don't want to say genetic, but if your parents cheated, you cheat.
Yeah,
It's a
I
trait.
posted about that today, and I got a lot of backlash.
Is it true?
Absolutely.
Boys and girls both.
Boys and girls both. Here's what it does. Cheating, firstly, it gets normalized. And so you see it as a natural consequence of being with someone for too long.
Emotional or physical?
Both. Yeah, both forms of cheating.
Emotional, I feel like there's a gray line. You could even say me saying hi to a guy with two eyes and exclamation
Here's the thing. Here's what cheating is. There's secrecy involved and some sexual energy. If there's no secrecy, even if there's sexual energy, it's not cheating. There's some people that have threesomes and stuff. Yeah, there's no secrecy involved. But if there's secrecy and sexual energy, it's cheating.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if we define it based on that, then we know what cheating is. And then I think that it's becoming very, very common amongst our community.
And so
girls.
is there, if some...
And the decline in religion as well.
Can you move on from cheating in a relationship?
Yes, you can.
Or would you advise cut the ties?
I would advise men and women differently.
Okay.
What I find, men who forgive cheating, because it's so emasculating for them, they find it so emasculating, they start to resent themselves. They start to be angry.
Not at the spouse, at themselves.
Themselves, because they don't have the strength to leave.
Interesting.
Usually what happens is they get so angry at themselves, they start thinking that they are less of a man. They start thinking if their friends knew, what would they think? And what happens is they have all this anger and resentment, and it comes out in the form of abuse towards a woman or towards themselves.
Verbal and physical?
Verbal and physical. So it will turn into controlling behavior. It will turn into insults. It will turn into, could be physical. Men don't know how to process emotions, so they process it physically.
Okay.
And so through anger is really the deep root of anger is probably some form of depression. So it does something to them that's not good for them. For women, we have so much social support when we've been cheated on. We can talk to a friend who's been through the same thing. We can talk to our mom. We don't feel less of a woman in a sense. We just think he's a bit of an idiot. Whereas a man starts to think, I'm not a man if she's done this.
Don't you think you'd feel less of a woman? Because there's something, he stopped finding me attractive. Something happened and now he just...
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, to be honest, I haven't been in that position, so I'm very limited in my understanding of it. I'm still very limited, but I do think that for women in general, from my experience of them, what happens is they start to withdraw their love from their husband when they've been cheated on. For a man, he starts to impose abuse when he's been cheated on. And that's kind of the difference. Well, with women, they don't necessarily turn to being, not all of them, but if they become physically aggressive, they usually were aggressive before the cheating. But what happens is you don't take a meek, kind woman that been cheated on and she starts beating up her husband. That doesn't happen. But she will withdraw her love. She'll be less likely to be there for you and your family and cook and clean and love you. But she might stay. But she'll withdraw her love. With men, they impose, they give anger, hostility, verbal abuse, so on and so forth. So that's why it's more negative in terms of a household when a man's been cheated on.
So long story short, it's situational, I guess. Situational. If you're going to stay or not.
But I do think I do think if you have children, you should try. You should definitely try. You just have to bury this existing relationship and start a new one with new guidelines and a new set of because behind cheating is always a message. No, people think cheaters are just narcissists. They love that statement. But the reality is the cheater had a need. And they probably communicated a message for some time to their partner. They're probably saying for some time, I really want you to start making more of an effort, or I would really appreciate it if you supported me with this. They always say something, and it's been on deaf ears until eventually they step out. They stop asking it from their partner and they start seeking it somewhere else. So you have to ask your partner, what was the message and meaning behind this affair? And if we can embed this in the marriage and not seek it elsewhere, we stand a chance. But if we can't, then there's no point.
And do you think some people just, it's the chase?
Of a new person?
Of a new person.
I think so. Some people are just naturally pleasure seeking, but even those people who love a chase, something triggers them. They might be feeling low in some area of their life. They might be feeling bored. They might be feeling unfulfilled. They might be feeling undesirable. But when their life is fulfilling, you're less likely to choose cheating because it's usually a coping mechanism.
And what can you do if you feel unfulfilled?
I think figure out what your potential is. If you're feeling unfulfilled, it usually suggests that you are losing respect for yourself. your day-to-day routine is not somebody or something you respect. You're either waking up late, you're not taking care of your body, you're not making the money you'd like to make, you're not connecting with people the way you'd like to. And as a result, you're losing self-respect. And that leads to a lack of fulfillment.